This is John Overexposed, and today we're talking about a song called Apocalyptical by Puscifer. Puscifer is a band spearheaded by Maynard James Keenan of Tool. The song came about as a remote collaboration between Maynard and his friend Matt. It features Maynard on vocals and English singer Karina Round on vocals as well. So I suppose I should start with the instrumentation and fidelity of this track. Something about it really reminds me of Cybertron, like early 1980s techno. Juan Atkins, Rick Davis. The fidelity is maybe a little bit too clean for old techno's sake, but the very simplistic synthesizers, not so much treated by effects, is kind of reminiscent. And it also kind of reminds me of the Doom soundtrack, like original Doom soundtrack in a way. Going off of that, let's talk about vocal execution. So it seems that Maynard and Karina kind of occupy the full possible spectrum of vocal execution in a way. Maynard showcases this amazing scream whispering ability that he has. He's like, "Go on, moron, ignore the evidence." And it's just like, that's very intriguing. I've never heard anything like that before. Karina's vocals are chopped at times. She also has these really outstanding blues language lines that I really love, just kind of going down that pentatonic scale, and it's just like, too late. It's like, all right, I'm down for it. Kind of backing up a little bit, the track starts ominously enough with a kind of hard to pen down drum rhythm, and it grows very gradually, but still remains a certain sparseness with the synthesizers, and even the vocals are very deliberately composed with space. And there's this rhythmic unison that Maynard and Karina sort of achieve together, almost like a tightly knit string section or horn section in a jazz ensemble. And so you get lines like, "They won't believe you," and they're sort of singing together in that rhythmic unison. And yeah, so I mentioned that Karina's vocals are chopped at times, and she has this wonderful blues language about her. The song sort of evolves and gets to an extended chorus at the end where the guitar is allowed to stretch out and come to this nice dramatic conclusion. In this show, I do my best to nail down how all of these things kind of come together and feed into a greater narrative. That of the song is what I'm after. This song started as a remote collaboration between Maynard and his friend Matt, and it was written pre-pandemic. But if you were to watch the video, you'd think that it was written in response to the pandemic or upon the band's immersion in these times. But it's just kind of happenstance the way it worked out. And the video is very entertaining. I highly recommend it. It might afford you some comic relief in this very troubled time, difficult time. But of course, Maynard in the song saying things like, "They won't believe you until it's too late," "Go on, moron, ignore the evidence," "Tripping over Armageddon." So it's all very apparent what this could be about. But the way it came together is very surprising in that, as I said, it was written pre-pandemic. Yeah, I really love that video, so I highly recommend it. I guess I'll end by saying that Tool has really helped me out over the past couple of years, just in way of the music that they've composed. Forgive my squeaky chair. Tool, to me, seems to speak to the majesty of being alive and how we're in this blessed moment, very lateralis sort of theme. Tool is kind of like the cool uncle that you have who kind of dispels these little blips of wisdom. And if that's the case, I think that Puscifer, in this case, is sort of like this maternal presence, warning you about the painful truth of people's ignorance. And so, very down to earth, and in a lot of cases, I think true themes that are great to digest. So, that's got it. I want to ask you to consider joining our Discord server. You being there helps to keep me accountable, and also, I want this to be a community, and I want to see what you're working on as well. That's the big thing about this server that I really want to get across is it's not so much John reposting, but what are we working on our own time? And what can we work on together? I think is a very exciting prospect. So consider it. And ending title card is now.